people. No one is illegal.
Hello, my name is Stanley Heller. Welcome to the Struggle Video News. It's the same old lies. We're warned ominously. The government of a certain Middle East country has a nuclear weapons program. Its leaders are among the most cruel and evil in history. We are in grave danger. We must go to war. Of course, that was the warning about Iraq 20 years ago. That war was a disaster, killing many hundreds of thousands of people and giving rise to ISIS. Now they're recycling the script and warning us about Iran. And we all heard it with Gaza. Israel will only bomb X, Y, and Z, but in reality they bombed everything. Israel says it wanted to deal with this supposed grave Iranian nuclear threat by destroying its nuclear capacity. They attack nuclear sites, and then they assassinate generals and civilians, nuclear scientists, and destroy rockets and airplanes and gas fields and bomb a television station and talk about their need to kill the head of the Iranian government. Trump said this was all purely Israeli warfare, knowing full well that it's U.S. planes and U.S. intelligence that makes the Israeli attacks possible. Now he's made a demand for unconditional surrender, making the U.S. a full partner in the aggression. On June 17th, Trump said all of Tehran must evacuate immediately. That's 9 million people. What kind of immense war crime is being planned? Read about the international law that makes aggression a crime. Aggression is the use of armed force against another state. It's sometimes considered the supreme war crime because it gives birth to all the others. But what about the supposed existential threat from Iran to Israel's existence? The threat is bunk. International law does allow the use of force to repel an actual attack or a plainly imminent one. But very plainly, Iran was not about to attack Israel. And Trump's intelligence chief, Tulsi Gabbard, said as much in March and mentioned that Iran was not building an atomic bomb. A country just can't claim that it feels threatened and take military action. India and Pakistan both have nuclear weapons. Both know there's danger. But does that mean that each can just go right ahead and invade the other country? We need protest. The millions who took to the streets on No King's Day need to add to their agenda. Stop the Israeli-U.S. war on Iran. Cut off the weapons to Israel. And while the corporate news is concentrating on Iran, Israel sadistically holds up the promise of food to starving Palestinians through its Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. Israel hands out food while shooting dead each day a score of people waiting in line to get the aid. 2 event notes. Promoting Enduring Peace is planning a panel on Iran for Tuesday, June 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Keep an eye out on their site for more information. And on Sunday, June 29th, Jonathan Katab will be speaking at the Palestine Museum U.S. He's a lawyer and founder of the legal project in Palestine called Al-Haq. The site, PalestineMuseum.us, will give you more information. On the day before Trump's massive military parade in Washington, D.C., a group of veterans had their own mobilization. Defying Trump's threat of very heavy force, scores of them crossed a police line of bike racks and advanced to the Capitol. They held a sit-in on the Capitol steps to protest the parade and inadequate veteran and other social benefits. Their shirts read, "Veterans Against Fascism." The action was organized by About Face, Veterans Against the War, and Veterans for Peace. Many were arrested, including one vet who was 87 years old. The next day, there were some 2,000 rallies across towns and cities in the United States under the theme No King's Day. Democracy Now! Reported an estimate that over 5 million people took part. In Newtown, Connecticut, some 1,000 people lined both sides of Main Street. Judging from all the honking, the demonstration was quite popular.
No pit, no crap. No pit, no crap. We will not be down. No pit, no crap. We will not be down.
Last Friday, we were very disappointed to hear that the federal judge did not rule that Mahmoud Khalil should be freed from the ICE prison in Louisiana. That same judge had ruled, A, that the claim by the Secretary of State that he had the power to throw any non-citizen out of the country was likely unconstitutional, and B, that the claim that Khalil hadn't filled out his green card application properly wouldn't normally result in jailing. Nevertheless, the judge let Trump keep Khalil in jail. There's an Instagram account with the latest about the case. Scan this QR code to get to it. ICE raids are taking place all across the country. After a dozen were grabbed by masked men in Danbury, Connecticut, there was an emergency demonstration near the courthouse the next day.
So yesterday morning, at around 5 a.m., we started to hear in the community that ICE was going to be present in the city. Once we heard the rumors and this going around our community, the rapid response team got activated. We realized that we needed to go out on the streets and to keep an eye for one another and see what was going to happen. All of this started at 5 a.m. Dozens of us came out. Dozens of us witnessed people being kidnapped. It's been a very hard day and painful day for me and for many of us. The past 48 hours have also taught me something. That even though we have laws, even though we have politicians, even though we have systems, none of those things are going to keep us safe. What is going to keep us safe is us. And in order to do that, we have to act and understand that our power is when we choose one another. When we say it loud or say it clear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Say it loud or say it clear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Say it loud or say it clear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Karen Hunter is one of our leaders that is part of the many work groups that we have that I hope all of you join before you leave today. She's not an immigrant, she's a white woman. But she understands, like many of us that we're talking about, humans. And that's what we do when we choose to fight for our collective humanity. I'm gonna let her share with you what she witnessed yesterday. She is one of the leaders that is, as I said, in the rapid response group that we have that allow us to witness the kidnappings of the people in our community. She's one of the leaders that is walking into businesses to provide red cards and education to keep our families safe. She's one of the leaders that has been doing court accompaniment with people who have to go to court and are fearful to go to court. So Karen.
Thank you, Ron. Yesterday was my first day of doing outreach. Yesterday was my first. Yesterday was my first day of doing outreach. We were standing down just a little ways across the street, handing out the red cards to people who passed us by and trying to let them know that they had rights and that ICE was all over the city. These two girls, they were maybe 20 years old, were walking down the sidewalk, talking, laughing, joking. When they got to us, we stopped them and we handed them each a red card and said, "These are your rights in case anything should happen. And please be careful because ICE is all around the city today." A very short time later, I found out these two girls had been kidnapped down the road. And this is heartbreaking and it's wrong. And we need to do better. These girls could have been my daughter or my granddaughter. We need to do better protecting our community from these horrible kidnappings. All I can think about last night was these poor girls and how afraid they must be, how worried their families must be. The image of this is never going to go out of my head. Danbury needs to be a place where residents can feel safe. Right now, ICE is abducting immigrants in our communities, throwing them into detention with no form of due process. These actions violate the dignity, safety, and basic right of all our neighbors. These actions have no place in our state. We must keep showing up, standing up, and not let this happen in our community.
I'm gonna say no borders, no nations, and you're gonna say stop deportations, okay? No borders, no nations.
Stop deportations!
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 Woo! All right. Karen, you share with us about children. And I want all of us to think about the fact that our children are being robbed of their childhood. And again, what we witnessed yesterday show us that they cannot be kids right now. We have known that they are not showing up to school when we had confirmation of ICE presence. And this is information that educators have shared with us. We know that this will affect our children for generations to come. We know that trauma affects our DNA. to us to stop that and to ensure that our children can have dreams and can be children. Now I'm gonna have Julian Sheffer, a teacher at Danbury High School, share with us about what he sees in the classroom. What does this mean for kids? What does this mean for education? And let me tell you something. If you're not an immigrant, and if one day your kids' friends don't show up to school, you are going to have to explain to them that they just disappeared. Again, folks, this affects us all directly and indirectly. And please think about what are you willing to do for your children, because I need you to do the same for all of our children. Children should be 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 children. I got another one for y'all. Families, children, do not fear. We are neighbors. Welcome here. Family, children, do not fear. We are neighbors. Welcome here. Family, children, do not fear. We are neighbors. Welcome here. All right, y'all. So first, I just want to give a big thank you to the Danbury Unites for Immigrants team who put this together. This is exactly the kind of community action we need, right? Exactly the kind of community action we need. Thank you. Rooted in love and resistance that we need to take on ICE and keep our community members safe. So thank y'all. We need this. Thank you. I'm Julian Schaefer. I've been a history teacher at Danbury High School for the last 10 years. 8 years ago, I witnessed hundreds of students lead a walkout to protest a man harassing immigrant students on our campus. In my time teaching, I've had at least a dozen students working with Connecticut Students for a Dream, fighting for the rights of undocumented students to have access to health care and have a chance to get a higher education. I've seen Danbury's community come together, stand up for its immigrant community members, regardless of the presidential administration in power. So while I was horrified by the videos of unmarked police cars and masked agents ready to abduct people on White Street yesterday, I had to remind myself that for 10 years, I've seen people in Danbury fighting to protect immigrant rights from this country's deportation machine. And I know that the city's history in this activism runs far deeper than that, right? So remind ourselves, right? ICE might have extensive resources. It might be wielding unconstitutional power. But they're up against the seasoned force of activists and organizers here and us here right now, right? We need this. We need us. Because when we fight, we win. Because when we fight, we win. Because when we fight, we win. I'm a history teacher, y'all. So Juan covered some history. I'm going to try and get into a little more. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. So in the 20th century alone, the U.S. intervened in Latin American countries at least 41 times. That's a conservative estimate. Conservative estimate, one intervention every 28 months in the 20th century. For over a century, our country's foreign policy has created economic and political instability for the benefit of American corporations and investors. Whether people have come to the U.S. for freedom from violence or just a chance to be able to feed themselves and their family, we as Americans owe a historical debt to our immigrant neighbors who arrive here.
What do we do? When our community is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. Under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back.
the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. No one is illegal. 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 Power to the people. No one is illegal.
That's our program for today. I'm Stanley Heller for the Struggle Video News.